Hey y'all. Long time, long time, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my people. I am trying to actually put on my. How's it going, everybody? Been a long time. so, um, if you guys didn't know, let me just make sure I'm not going to get into a situation here. Paying attention. I want to say hi to everybody. I know it's been a while. Since I've gone live. And there's obviously a number of reasons. One, the most important is I started with a new, not company, account that I'm working on. And just started this week. So yesterday, today's day 2. And it's just been a little crazy trying to kind of get acclimated, right? Training, all that great stuff. My hours are a little different now. So a little later in the evening than my previous situation, but it wasn't like I wasn't working late in my other situation anyway. But anyways, I just want to say hi to everybody. Haven't talked to everybody in a long time. If you're on with me, just say hi. Let me know you're here. I'm actually heading to drop off some of jewelry because, that's my hustle in my business, my personal business. I'm an entrepreneur. I am owner and operator of Steph's Blings and Things. I am your jewelry queen of bling, where I sell $5 accessories. So if you didn't know about me, now you know. You can always catch me on my business page on Facebook, Steph's Blings and Things. So catch me there. I always drop some jewelry. I do some live shows. I have a direct website you can shop off of. But anyway, that's for the spiel for anybody who doesn't know. Um, so I'm actually, I'm always wearing my stuff. Always wearing my stuff. Can't have a business if you don't trust and believe in your products. But anyways, I'm just coming on to say hello because I'm actually dropping off some jewelry, meeting with someone to get them some jewelry. And I wanted to say hi to everybody. I know there's been a lot of crazy things going on per usual. I want to say that we have to collectively and individually really focus on the goal, the end result, the ultimately what we're trying to get to, what we're trying to obtain, and how we're going to get there. There's a lot of things going on personally. Obviously, we have the case that's going on right now. I don't even want to talk about his name because I'm a little annoyed, more than just a little annoyed, very upset about what's going on. But anyways, we all focus on, we need to be focusing on what is our end goal, end state. What is it that we want out of life? What is it that we want out of society, out of, just for ourselves, for our neighbors, for our friends, our families, and just for people. And I feel sometimes we get caught up in our kind of our day to day and, not really looking at the holistic picture. Because there's a lot of hurt and pain out there. There's a lot of just anger and frustration, and because of whether it be political, whether it be related to our laws and what have you. We are the voice if we stand together to ensure that we create a world around us. And I know it's cliche because we talk about it all the time, but we are responsible for creating the world that we want to see. And sometimes we don't know how to go about it. Sometimes we're just, again, so consumed with our own personal space, our personal life, that we don't realize all the things that are going on around us, um, and the distractions out there, and it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but we have to come together as a people, um, and stop this hate, and it's just bad, man. It's just bad out there. I've encountered some situations that I'm not too thrilled with. Granted, the climate has changed just slightly, but it hasn't evolved to where we need it. And it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and focus from individuals who do want to see better, who do want to see um, change for the better. That includes better life for us and our neighbors and our friends and just humans in general. Um, but it all starts with us first. This is the thing, guys. I mean, it really does start with us. It really does start with us. Think about it when, you have children, and I don't have any. I have 11 nieces and nephews. God bless. I don't have children of my own, but we think about it when we grow up, when we're born into a family, right? And we're learning and we're weaving our way through life, and kind of learning different things and understanding how we operate in society, and with the people around us, and what we want to teach our children and what we want to learn. And I'm assuming, for the most part, as children, we are not thinking about how, evil or angry or disrespectful we're going to be to people in society, right? Our neighbors, our friends, and how we need to really listen and hear people out. We don't do it. We don't really do a lot of that. Um, and this is the reason why there's so many disconnects, because we make assumptions about other people's lives that we don't know. We make judgments. We assume that we know what other people are going through, or what they're, why they react the way they do, and things of that nature. And we really don't know. We only know what we're doing, what our life entails, what our family means to us, what our friends mean to us. We don't really understand what's going on in other people's lives. And, we assume that, we look at Facebook and, just assume that everybody's life is painted just as it is on Facebook. There's a lot of people hurting. There's a lot of people going through some really bad times. As much as they tell you what a great life they're having, that is probably 50% true, maybe 60. I'll even give them 70. But there's always something that's going on in your life that's creating such a hard time for you. And yeah, you're blocking all that negativity, and you're trying to eliminate the distractions and the negativity from others. But what we also need to do is understand how we change things so that we're not affected by all this negativity in this world. Because we can ignore it all we want, but we're never going to change it if we just ignore it. If we just sit there and say, well, it's not my problem, it doesn't affect me. Yeah, well, maybe not right now. It might not affect you right now, but it's going to affect you at some point in life. And that's where I think we lose sight of the things that, we ignore, because we don't want to either deal with it, or we don't want it to affect our lives, our personal lives, negatively. We have to figure out how we come together and change that. Um, acknowledging it first because we don't, sometimes, again, we ignore, we don't acknowledge it, we act like we don't know nothing about it, and so that makes it okay, and it really doesn't make it okay. It really doesn't make it okay, because the less we acknowledge, the more we tell people it doesn't matter. And that's not really what, we should be doing. But anyways, I'm on my soapbox because this is like things that come through Stefania's head. Um, but anyway, again, let's come together as a society, as a people, as a human race. Let's talk to one another. Let's understand what the challenges are that we're dealing with, even if it's talking to a friend. Talk to somebody that, it's easy for us to talk to people and talk about our day, right? It's easy to talk about your day. It's easy to talk about so and so did this, so and so's child, and so on and so forth. What we don't discuss, what's going on from a society perspective. What's going on around us, and how is it affecting us, or how it is affecting our families or the people around us. When we have more conversations around that, then we're looking at things more holistically rather than just me, or just in my circle. That's where I think we see many disconnects, because we're not asking or talking to our friends about, how are you feeling about what's going on in the news today, or what's going on with this, or what's going on with that. We're very focused, tunnel vision, I want to say, and it's more related to our personal surroundings. And we don't really ask, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying I've noticed that sometimes we don't have conversations with our friends or, people we know, to say, hey, how are these things affecting you? Like, what's going on in society today? And maybe pick a subject. Pick a subject, whatever it is. Pick what's going on in the news. What's popular in the news, How is it affecting the people around you? Those are questions that we should be asking, because when we actually start opening up and having that dialogue and those conversations, we start seeing things a little differently. And we don't look at it from just our world that we know. We're looking at it more holistically from other people's point of view and perspective, right? And challenge ourselves to be better people. That's what I try to do every day. I mean, believe me, I have my good and bad days. And I am no saint. I've never professed to be. I have my moments, believe me. But at the same token, I do know that I strive to be better. I strive to be a good person every single day. I care about people. I care about society. I care about what's going on in the world. And I care about what's going on in my life and the people in my life. So, we have to really look at things a little more, again, more worldly view rather than kind of our own siloed environment. If you think about, and I'll just kind of talk about, so for instance, you're at work and you're looking at what you do in your day-to-day life, right? In your day-to-day job. You're looking at what you're doing specifically. And something's happening within your process, and it's because of something that happened that is impacting your work. Somebody else did something and it, dropped on your lap, and all of a sudden it's a problem for you. Or you did something and it's a problem for somebody else, depending on, kind of your engagement and how you're moving through processes. This is the same thing with life. It's exactly the same thing. Just because you don't think that it's important, that person who's doing that's affecting you or your work, they're not thinking about what you're doing, right? They're only thinking about what they need to do and they're passing it off, right? It's like passing the buck. If I ignore it, they're just going to handle it, right? They're just going to deal with it. That's not just about the job, but it's about life. When things are happening that is affecting your life or affecting someone else's life, or something you're doing is affecting someone else's life, or decisions you may make is affecting someone else's life, it affects us all. It affects us all. We're all connected no matter which way you look at it. We all are linked together as human beings. We're all linked together as society. Whatever anybody is doing affects everybody else. And that's why I feel that sometimes our disconnect is that we don't really look at things from a more worldly view, a more holistic perspective as a society, as a human race. And, we're so stuck on just our, focused silo, and we're not opening up and looking at the bigger picture. So, again, this is something that is necessary for us to do better in the world. We need to reach out to people. We need to really have conversations, open up dialogue. And again, don't let it just be about, how are your kids today? How old is your child? Or, what did they eat today? Those are kind of like, yeah, it's great to have those type of conversations, but what really is affecting them? What are they feeling? What are they going through? How are they feeling about certain situations that are affecting society? Those are real deep conversations. Those are real things to make you think and to start looking at things a little differently, because now you're taking the view of someone else that you may not even have known how things are affecting them. And that's really again, that's very important. But anyway, with that said, I'm actually meeting somebody to drop off some jewelry, so I'm going to go now. But really think about that. This has been stirring in my head for a couple days now, and I feel that's an opportunity for us as a whole to really kind of come together. Did because it helped open our eyes. Yeah, yeah, it did. So, Sarah, you're actually absolutely right. I have to say that we've been blessed because although we grew up in a town which was, I mean, we had everybody. I swear it was like a melting pot for us. And we grew up around every race, color, creed, religion, background. I can't even tell you, immigrants, whatever. I mean, we grew up around everybody. And I feel that has opened up my eyes to a lot more in the world and been allowed me to be more cognizant and conscious of people. And I feel that I'm also an empath, like what people are feeling, I'm feeling, and like how people are reacting. I told my husband this yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, but I said every emotion he's feeling, I'm feeling. Like every emotion. Like if he's angry, I'm angry. If he's like, I'm like, why are you angry? You making me angry. Or, like, why are you upset? You're making me upset. Or, I mean, it's just, I go through every emotion depending on the people that are around me. But once again, I grew up in an environment where, we had everybody. And it's easier for me to understand. And I, believe me, even getting out of that town, I moved to another town where I lived in areas that, you would have been surprised that I would have lived in. I had to survive. And I'll tell you guys that story later, but it was survival for me, I didn't have money. I didn't have, again, I put myself in a situation where I had to figure out how to survive. So I've kind of been through many different situations in my life, and I think that has helped me to look at things a little differently, to have more of a worldly view, have more of a broader perspective when it comes to people and life and society and what's going on in the world. Has allowed me to be a little more sympathetic and empathetic, depending on the situation. Again, I think there's an opportunity for all of us to learn from one another. And we can't be better people if we don't really focus our energy around getting to know people that we would never connect with on a regular basis. Reach out to somebody you don't really normally talk to. Kind of get their understanding of how, they lived life, and yeah, phases and stepping stones in life. I mean, reach out to people that you normally would not talk to. Like kind of listen to them, hear what they have to say. It's I guarantee you that they would appreciate you more by having a conversation and being open to hearing, not judging, not telling them what they are doing wrong or how they view things should be different. They should be viewing things differently because their view is based on their own experiences. And we lose sight of that people's experiences is really what causes them to react or speak in a certain manner or be who they are. Your experiences, kind of make you change how you react to things and how you live life. So, with that said, again, I am going to get off my soapbox, but I hope this message reaches somebody who needed to hear it, somebody who's been thinking about contacting somebody that they normally don't communicate with, or maybe somebody they do communicate with, and kind of having more of a broader conversation and not cater it just to what I'm doing today, look, the weather and all these things that people talk about all the time. Just look at things a little more broadly. And I will guarantee you will be enlightened with the things that you'll be hearing and things that you'll think about to kind of change maybe your mindset. Even if it doesn't change your mindset, at least it helps you to understand things a little more, a little better. So with that said, I love y'all. I hope you have a great evening. Again, any jewelry needs, make sure you get in touch with me at stephsblingsandthings.com. You can always go on my website 24/7 and make sure you like and follow my page, Steph's Blings and Things, on Facebook. And I'm always available, Messenger. Make sure you contact me if you need anything. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. Have a blessed evening. Love y'all. Peace.